All right, everybody, we're talking about America Competes Act, okay? This is really important, especially for Americans. If you're an American and you are in cryptocurrencies, you're going to want to watch this. This is the biggest thing that could possibly affect you in the crypto space. So go for it.
Yeah, I mean, it definitely is going to be affecting everyone, whether or not you are in crypto or not, but especially this, when you look at the language of this, what they're trying to pass here, it's pretty apparent that they want unilateral control and they want to make actions now and explain later, basically. So as this America Competes Act pertains to cryptocurrency, basically it would grant the Treasury Secretary the ability to, again, unilaterally dictate if these financial institutions are required to report certain information on their users, and it can also prohibit them from making their services available to certain users if they are suspected to be involved with some sort of illicit activity. Again, this is, they're interested in taking actions now and then looking back and seeing if that was appropriate, which in my opinion isn't the best way to go around, like running a country. But you also have to keep in mind that the Treasury Secretary is not an elected official. You can't vote them out. Maybe you can vote out whatever party has elected them, but then there's the next guy that comes around in the next few years. So it's something that they actually tried to sneak in with the infrastructure bill, and it was denied. And now, actually, it was originally coming out with the NDAA, the National Defense Authorization Act, and here it is again. This guy, what's his name?
Jim Hines.
Jim Hines.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Buddy.
I mean, we're not U.S. citizens, so this isn't affecting us directly, but there's a lot of people who are in crypto and U.S. citizens, and now we get to kind of watch from the outside perspective of what's happening with the U.S., and it's not a pretty picture. And in my opinion, it's just solidifying what we decided to do.
Well,
but anyway.
Also, Jim Hines worked for Goldman Sachs. So, I mean, it's a revolving door, guys.
Exactly.
Like Heidi and I have been saying for a while that the U.S. is going to be left behind with crypto. And one of the reasons why we renounced our U.S. citizenship is because we understood way before where the U.S. was heading, and we just didn't want to have any part of it because we understood that it is going to be kicking crypto out. Now, first off, if, say for instance, Janet Yellen, who's a Treasury Secretary, decided she didn't like an asset or whatever, she could ban it from having big companies giving it to their customers or whatever.
Or give them the ability to
buy it.
Yeah.
All right. So, but she could ban it without any public hearing or anything immediately, and then she has 120 days to
see how it plays out.
To see how it plays out, pretty much.
And then after that, there's what are they calling it? Public. Let me just read this. First, the law requires that Treasury engage in a public rulemaking before instituting a prohibition. So it means it allows them to make rules without warning anyone, basically. Second, the Secretary can impose a surveillance special measure through a simple order, but its duration is limited to 120 days and must be accompanied by public rulemaking. So after that 120 days, they have to make a decision to rule one way or another about it. So
sure. So what I see happening, okay, this is really bad news for Americans. But, like if you're not an American, and even if you are an American, it's not the worst news ever. Okay, so first off, you have a free market. If the US decided to go ahead and do this and ban cryptocurrency, which I really doubt they are going to do this because crypto is going to go underground, first of all. Nobody's going to obey their government, at least the smart people are not going to obey their governments. And also, secondly, what's going to happen is you're going to have a capital flight like you've never seen before, getting the heck out of the United States. There's no way. All the smart people are going to flee. And they're going to be fleeing with their families, and pretty much you're going to lose every smart, intelligent person in the United States that knows anything about finance and is creative, because why would they stick around a place like that that's going to squash their ability to be creative and to have to jump around a bunch of red tape?
I mean,
ain't gonna happen.
To be fair, there are quite a few senators in the U.S. who are concerned about that, about smothering competition and sending the entrepreneurs and the ability to generate more capital within the U.S. to stimulate the economy, actually stimulate it, not just print money, of driving those out. And the fact for me that is so telling is that this has been had been proposed, denied, it's back again. Mm-hmm. So who cares who you're voting for? I have a very pessimistic, I think we both have a very pessimistic view over trusting politicians to, number one, stick to whatever they're campaigning for, and do they have the ability to, stand up against these other, what are they called when they're the banks and the people who are paying off other senators?
Lobbyists.
Lobbyists, yeah. Exactly. That's a lot of pressure and a lot of money to tempt someone to change their views and to play the game by their rules.
But I mean, big banks own the United States.
Yeah.
Obviously, so that's what you're competing with. Charles Hoskinson, 88, the founder of Cardano, is like, hey, you can vote. You need to vote. You need to vote. I'm like, guys, like, first off, Jim Himes is a representative at Congress. Or he was not actually voted in, right? Mm-hmm. And neither was Janet Yellen. You know what I mean? So what's voting going to do? It's going to do absolutely nothing. So what needs to happen is capital flight. What needs to happen is people just, I'm over it. Yeah. I'm out of here, leave. I know, I get it. Not everybody can just get up and leave like us and like many others, but that's what it's going to take.
Push comes to shove.
Or other stuff.
Your excuses start falling short of why you can't do that, and you start prioritizing other things.
Yeah.
It's like what Andrew Henderson's always saying on Nomad Capitalist, go where you're treated best. Yeah. And I think more and more people are going to find that they're not being treated the best that they could be in certain countries. Yeah. And there are lots of countries that are happy to be facilitating the growth of cryptocurrencies within their jurisdiction. So it'll be interesting to see who moves there and how that progresses as well. But anyway.
Anyways, we're done. We just wanted to give you a quick little synopsis of this or just, tell you what's on our minds. I think this is important is because a lot of our viewers and our CT Club, they are based in the United States, and we need to actually keep up with this stuff. So anyways, that's all. Have a good day.
Bye, guys.